थोड़ा स्कूल आ रहा है, पढ़ाई कर रहा है, ग्राउंड में खेल रहा है, he is also enjoying coming to the school and learning different things. The severity of behavior problem seems to be escalating. मैंने ये बोला था आपको कि जो रिलेशनशिप का जो प्रॉब्लम है स्टूडेंट टीचर, फिजिकल एजुकेशन टीचर और स्टूडेंट के बीच में जो रिलेशनशिप का जो इश्यूज है वो धीरे धीरे अभी मतलब बुरा होने लगा है. Even though these problems often originate in the family, society expects educators and physical education teachers to be specific, to manage and sometimes even permanently correct the bad behavior and attitude of the students. मैंने ऐसे भी स्कूल्स देखे हैं, लकीली कोई भी केंद्रीय विद्यालय नहीं है क्योंकि केंद्रीय विद्यालय स्कूल जहाँ की सिस्टम्स बहुत अच्छे हैं. You have got a very good system of conducting classes, conducting dealing with the students. But especially जो भी प्राइवेट स्कूल्स हैं, मैंने मेरे स्टूडेंट्स भी जो जाके जॉब करते हुए आके कंप्लेंट करते हैं, सर हम लोगों को स्कूल में जब बस से बच्चे उतरते हैं तब प्रिंसिपल बोलते हैं कि आप जाके जो बच्चे उतर रहे हैं आपको उन सबको लाइन में लेके आओ. क्यों? बिकॉज आप फिजिकल एजुकेशन टीचर हैं, आप डिसिप्लिन आपका मतलब पूरा दिस इज योर कप ऑफ टी. It is your responsibility to make all the students in the school to be disciplined, right? तो सोचते हैं कि जो बच्चे का indisciplined जो activities हैं ये घर से शुरू होते हैं. This starts from home. So the care has to be taken. Don't talk, please. Thank you. So the care has to be taken by everyone, by the teacher, by even the physical education teacher and all the teachers, all the members of the school, family, surrounding, friends, everybody. But then again when it comes to blaming, only the PE teachers to be specific is blamed because we are the discipline masters, which I don't agree. In a research conducted, nearly 20% of 20,000 teachers reported experiencing a direct threat of personal violence. As I said, the number is not very big. It is only 20% of the number of the total number of teachers who were surveyed. The kind of research was conducted. It was found that they complained experiencing a direct threat of personal violence from the students. So this is the current scenario in India, in the world. Not only in India, even in the world scenario is further worse. Right? So by keeping all these things in mind, we'll proceed further. So earlier days, what is happening? The kind of teachers, not only physical education teachers, all the teachers, we were seeing the kind of indisciplined activity which was limited to chewing tobaccos in the classroom, maybe using bad words to the friends, or maybe kind of indisciplined activity remaining absent in the classes, running away from the classes. But nowadays what is happening, what we are dealing with is, or what physical education teacher or any subject teacher is dealing with, illegal drug use and addiction, smartphone use, then the weapon possessions, some people carry little gang and group fightings, then sometimes even suicide and murder. So these are the issues which a physical education teacher or a teacher in general is handling. Earlier, the kind of indisciplined activities, the severity was low. Now the severity is high. Now when a teacher goes to school to teach, whether he will be handling all these issues or he will be teaching the subject. Okay, next slide please. Next slide. I'll have to go a little quick because I have maybe around 20 minutes left. Next slide. Next. Okay, session outline. These are the things that we are quickly going to discuss in today's session. First thing is, all of you must be knowing the principles of teaching. The first principle of teaching is know yourself. So similarly here also, you have to examine yourself, you have to know yourself. Then the second one is use positive approaches, avoid negative approaches, apply counseling techniques, roadblocks to effective communication, evaluation of student behavior and teacher practices in physical education, proactive management methods, pre-instruction, instruction and evaluation. So all these things I was supposed to discuss with you in 1 hour, but now time is not there. Within yes. Sorry. Roadblocks to communication. I'll come to you. I'll come to all these points individually. Okay. So go to next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. So once Socrates, a great philosopher, said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So if you don't examine yourself as a teacher, you might as well give up now. So, as a physical education teacher, from time to time you'll have to evaluate yourself. You'll have to update yourself. So the thing, whatever knowledge or whatever idea you had maybe 5 years back or maybe 10 years back may not be holding the similar kind of meaning right now. So you have to find out, you have to evaluate yourself. And the first question that you have to ask is, am I aware of the situation? यहाँ जैसे कि मैं अगर अभी यहाँ पे एक क्लास दे रहा हूँ, एक टॉक दे रहा हूँ, तो दैट मीन्स जितने भी सारे सब्जेक्ट्स, जितने भी सारे रेस्पेक्टेड टीचर्स मेरे सामने बैठे हैं, I should be able to see all of them and what is going on. When I am looking at this side, I am on the other side. When I am looking on my left, I also should be knowing what is happening on my right. That means not only you should focus on the best student of the class, you also should have focus and you also should pay attention to the weakest student of your class or the most notorious student of your class. Right? Only when you know the nature of your student, when you know the characteristics or the personality of your student, then only what will happen, you will be able to address them properly or you will be able to guide them properly. Next slide. Am I enthusiastic? First of all, if you are not interested to get up, and go out for kind of doing physical activity, if you don't come to the classes regularly, if you are not interested, then your students also will very much understand that you are not interested. Then they will lose interest, or sometimes they will create some kind of behavioral issues or problem issues in the class. Next thing is, am I flexible, adapt as well as adapt each behavioral strategy? Treat students with respect and always call them by their actual name. See, when you are calling, I have seen many physical education teachers, they have even, out of love and affection, they have given various pet names to different students. You call them, they don't call that particular individual with the right name, they call them with some pet name like XYZ. So, which is not correct. You may think that, that is actually working, but when an individual is called by name, suppose my name is Ashutosh, when I am called by Mr. Ashutosh or Dr. Ashutosh, whatever it is, then I feel good because I feel that my presence is important or I have given due importance or due attention. So the students in the teenage, what happens, they seek kind of attention from different sources. So when you call them by their name, they feel respected, right? They also gain the attention whatever they were seeking for, and that way their relation to you will be better, and thereby contributing towards teaching learning situation will be much better. So these things, student perception that instructor knows their names, all these things I have told you affects attitude towards the class, affects the behavior, changes perception of course and instructor. Next, use positive approaches. So can students bring good? Now एक चीज मैं आप सभी जितने भी रेस्पेक्टेड टीचर्स बैठे हैं, मैं एक चीज आप लोगों को पूछूंगा कि आप जब आपका फोकस किस पे रहता है? सबसे अच्छे